Hi guys, Harry Yotis here, professional trader for 20 years now. I started my career in 2005 and still going strong in 2026. So let's get started with a daily update. Here we are, first day of the week, Tuesday, 20th of January. Big smash, Hulk smash, huge. Okay, and the reason for that is Greenland and Japan, a 1-2 punch that'll knock this market down. But is it going to be a forever thing? Are we in the middle of a protracted down move? Probably not. We'll get to that soon. First, let's talk about the technical picture. The technical picture, as always, well, it was bullish. And because of this drop, we have to bring in the moving averages. The red is the 50. It closed below the 50. So technically, the bullishness is over and we're back down to neutral. Does that mean we should sell everything, go home, take our ball, go home, game over? Well, look, we had other days where it closed below the 50 and came back. Other times it closed below the 50 and took maybe a week to get back. There's plenty of examples of that going back years. So let's not read too much into it. That's, after all, this is just a line in the sand. There's just a line drawn on a graph. It doesn't really mean much. But people pay attention to it. And I suspect because of the nature of this move and what we will be talking about going forward is that I think this move is temporary and it could regulate itself as early as tomorrow. I don't know. We'll see. So let's take out the moving averages. So as you can see, the technical picture ceases to become bullish and is basically now neutral with a wait and see. Okay, but that we don't just look at the technicals. We look at the sentiment, and the sentiment on the CNN Fear and Greed Index is neutral. Can we get like 1 or 2 days of greed? I mean, we just had one in middle of at 65 or 60 something, 62 maybe, and then boom, back down to neutral. We can't seem to stay in greed. What's going on? Okay, look, extreme fear at the market momentum, greed though at strength, neutral. And look, the put call ratio is still at extreme fear. Okay, people were buying puts even last week and even today, especially today. Okay, so we have sentiment still back down to neutral, no greed, no nothing. This market has never solidified a greedy sentiment or even went to extreme greed at all. Okay, so let's talk about today. Okay, Greenland and Japan. Gold and silver surge from CNBC, okay? The headline of today is Gold and silver surge to fresh highs as investors digest Trump's push for Greenland and flock to safer assets, okay? What they're saying is that if you look at gold, new highs. It's at 47.60-ish right now. Big move. This is today, okay? Silver. Up, indecision candle, but still up almost 5%, okay, which is pretty big. It's like 94.4 here on the contracts for differences in silver. This is a European move, European price, let's say UK. So you have here safer assets as if the push to gold and silver is a safe haven move. I mean, gold and silver were going up as the market was going up. So forever it was a risk on move, and just today it's a safe haven move. Come on. It's just CNBC. Don't believe their headlines, okay? It's just a show of what is going on today in the SPY, okay? Gold was bid because the market is down and people were seeking some kind of safety. But, I mean, there's more to gold than just a safe asset, and silver as well. I mean, you would expect silver to go down. Nope, it went up because silver goes with the market, okay? So, I mean, the headline is off, but what it's telling you is that just the descriptor of today, like a big down day, okay? Should you be worried? I don't think so, okay? The Greenland thing, if you guys aren't aware, is that Trump is going to put tariffs on every country that opposes him in his will to take over Greenland, okay? So I think that gets resolved very, very quickly. I don't think this is a big move. As you can see with this big down move, you had the VIX pop up to 20, which is now, that's big, okay? It was extremely low forever. And now this move just recycled it back to up to highs. Okay, now we have plenty of room to go even lower. And I suspect that we might get another push higher. I just don't see it happening for a long time. I just don't see this spike happening that lasts a long time. I think it lasts a few days, not even. Maybe even today could be the last day. If today's the last day, like tomorrow and going forward, if it drops below 18-ish, let's say, and starts doing this, you're going to have 2, 3, 4 weeks of bullishness. Okay, so this spike up actually sets up the bulls very, very well for a move much higher into new highs. Okay, past the 695 level in SPY. So you saw that the VIX is high. We saw that puts were being bought. And if you want to have a little bit more of a technical reason why I thought puts were being bought, we look at the 10-minute chart of the S&P 500, okay? Look at this. This, to me, when you have this slow grind down with very little volatility, this is put buying, okay? A lot of puts were being bought, and market makers were selling the appropriate amount of stock, selling it down to delta hedge their short put position, because when people buy puts, the market makers are sellers of puts, so they have to delta hedge it by selling stock. So this is what it looks like when you delta hedge. Okay, it could be over. Like this spike could be over. Although I don't know, maybe we gap down tomorrow. We go to 673 before ripping higher. That would be nice. Okay, but I suspect that this move was a lot of put buying, reacting to this one-day down move, which is big. I mean, down 2% on the SPY. I guess it's big, but it reset everything. It reset the VIX to a higher level, which means plenty of room to keep going down. Revisit the 13 over time, which means weeks of upside ahead, and it reset the put options. Reset everything. All the risk now is, we have like back to fear. Like you see the sentiment is at neutral. Okay, we're not even at greed. We have plenty of room to go to greed and extreme greed and solidify the greediness, because we have no greed in this market. We need to have some greed and extreme greed. Okay, and Greenland was the reason, one of them, and the other one was Japanese bonds. Okay, the yield on the Japanese 10-year. Oh, Japan 10-year yield ripping. Look at that, 2.37%. I mean, it's huge because it was at zero before, right? If you go back, we're a couple of years, we're at 0.7, whatever. But people are afraid that the carry trade is going to unwind, and it is, but I just don't think it's going to be that big, because I don't think a lot of people were playing the carry trade this time because they were playing it here as it was going up, okay, between 2020, end of 2020, mid-2024 to beginning of 25, and then we had this little scare here, okay? So as Japanese yields were going up, people were unwinding the carry trade, okay, and the market was going down. Boom, that's the unwind, okay? So I don't think that everyone jumped on board. Maybe a couple people jumped on board and they have to get out here, but I don't think the carry trade is another big deal in Japan right now. I mean, you have rates at 2.37% on the 10-year. It's not that big. The spread between the U.S. 10-year, which is at 4.29, and 2.3, it's 2%. It's a little bit there, but it's not massive. It's not zero compared to 4%, okay? So the Japanese 10-year yield serving as a carry trade vehicle is not that big anymore. It's not that big of a trade anymore. So I don't think the downside is going to be as big as it was the first time the Japanese yields blew up, okay? So that's my thoughts on the Greenland and Japan thing. It's a 1-2 punch. It affected it today, but I just don't think this long-lasting. In fact, this could be, we could get a gap up day tomorrow. I just don't know. Or what I said, 673 gap down, I'm buying even more, okay? So that's what I think about the Greenland, Japan 1-2 punch, okay? The last thing I'd like to talk about today is that I noticed that what you should be doing as this market is going down is recognizing sectors that are outperforming the market, okay? What sectors were doing well as this was going down, okay? One of them that I mean, of course, gold and silver, we know that. That's one of my favorites. But one sector that I noticed is the energy drinks, okay? Celsius. Celsius is up today, 4%, and was continuing to go up this whole time. After the earnings moved down, okay, when they missed, it's being bought up, okay? And the leader, Monster Energy Drinks, of course, never saw a pullback. This is doing very, very well. Look, the last earnings move was a beat of 17%. Okay, so you have sectors in the market that you should be looking at that are doing well, and you should be buying on pullbacks. One of them that I like is the energy drink sector, among others. You know the others that I like: gold, silver, precious metals. I also like the military industrial complex stocks, MIC stocks, I call them, MIC. Okay, so let's reiterate. Okay, that's it, guys. That was it for the Tuesday, the mayhem of Tuesday. You know, the 1-2 punch of Greenland and Japan. Okay, let's reiterate. The technical picture is no longer bullish because we closed under the 50, although I suspect this gets recaptured very, very quickly. We had sentiment barely into the green before, boom, getting smacked down into the neutral. Plenty of room to go much higher. A lot of put buying, as is evidenced by the extreme fear in the put call ratio. And, of course, the intraday charts of the S&P 500. A slow grind down is indicative of market maker delta hedging by selling the market when they are selling put options. Okay, so back to the daily chart. Greenland and Japan, the Japanese yield, we saw it. I don't think the carry trade is as big as it was before, so that we can check that and go out. And Greenland, the 10% tariffs on everybody, I think that gets resolved very quickly. It's not a big deal. Greenland will not tank the market, guys. Okay, so, and of course, there are many, but one sector that you guys should look at, Celsius, is the beverages, energy drinks, if you will, Celsius and Monster. If you want to stick to just the leader, stick with Monster, buy any pullback. Okay, so that's it, guys. If you like what you saw, of course, like the video and subscribe. I really appreciate it. And leave a comment below, and I will answer it as fast as I can. So looking forward to what happens this week. I suspect we get bought up fairly quickly. Bye, guys.